we need your help. And you're like,
all right, so today we're going to continue on with this little map system that we built. And we already have it so that I have a bunch of building objects that have the name and the coordinates for each building. And I'm only doing 3. I'll leave the rest to you guys. The next thing I want to do is add markers. So remember we added a marker for Nice, which I found out later was Nice, because Paris, it's in France. Thank you, Robert. That was kind of stupid. So we want to add some markers to the map, and those are these little blue pins. And I want to add them on top of the building because that gives us a place to click on and capture that event. And eventually what I want to do is when I click on that, it will load up a whole new map of the interior of that building. So I'm going to change these, and I'm going to have some markers that I'm going to create. And I want to create a marker on top of each building. So I'm going to create a new marker with a tag called building 1. I'm going to call one building 15. And one called building 50. And so I'll have markers A, B, and C. And we'll have 3 markers that we're going to set the data to. We need to set the center point for these and the zoom levels that the marker will show up on. So sure, whatever you want. Marker 1, marker 1, marker 1. And then this is marker 1. Sure. Now I think there's an even better way to do that. This would be 15, right? I want to see if we can refactor this. And this is going to be 50. And 50. All right. So here I can use these are already stored in my buildings, but I don't have these objects nicely pulled out. So for now, I'm just going to hard code these, all right? So we'll figure out another way to do this. But building 1 was these 2 values. Building 15 was these 2 values. And building 50 was these 2 values. All right? So we're going to run this, and then we should be able to see events that happen there. Whenever they click on that event, I should get something here. Okay, I'll get something in the log itself. So let's run it. All right, so here we got it started. We're running. So here's my map. I've got my 3 markers, one over building 50, 15, and building 1 down here. Got my nice little markers. If I click on those markers, or I can use my pull down here again, so I can go to building 15. That centers it. I can click on that marker, and it printed out, it did my log event, and printed out where it was, where that marker was. So it printed out the tag. In this information, I can get the tag based on that view. So this add marker adds this information, and I can use that inside of this to figure out what to do with that information. Pardon me?
I do remember what you were talking about.
What?
How you get the actual pointers, right there, up.
How I got these values? Okay, so we'll add that piece to show you how I got those, because it makes sense to have the computer figure this out for you, right? So inside of my, as I'm creating the tile view, I can create some listeners to this. So I'm going to add inside of this, for my tile view, I'm going to call a method that's built into that Java library that we're using, and I'm going to call add tile view event listener. And we have to call new tile view dot tile view event listener implementation. Nothing too wordy here. And we have our this is a lot like jQuery. We're creating a new object, a new anonymous function that we're setting into this event listener. So a lot like jQuery. And it's got to be called public void, and I'm going to use the onTap event, which gives me an X and a Y. What was that? All right, onTap, and I'm just going to log this out to the debugger, and we'll call it, I'm going to call it marker event, just so it shows up in the same place. Well, no, better not. Call it onTap. And I want to log something like what the X position is, plus the Y position, and that's it. So whenever I tap on the map, this function will get executed. It will log it to my log file, and I'll get the X and Y coordinates at that point. Isn't that sweet? So that's pretty simple. All I added was this piece of code here. So let's run. Yes. Right, the total image, right. Everything is based on the coordinates of the entire size of the map, which makes it easier to figure out. All right, so here we go. Back to my map. I can scroll around, and if I tap, I've got to change my thing to be on tap. So I'm getting these X and Y coordinates. Isn't that nice? So as I, sweet, that's right, sweet. Whoa. So as I'm scrolling around, I want to get building 6, so I click here. So that's building 6, and I can just copy and paste those into my building. Nice, huh? That's how I got them. There's no reason to do anything else. You could have gotten them probably by loading them in Photoshop, and you would have gotten the same kind of coordinates. You might have had to transpose them a little bit. But
Keep moving the markers.
yeah, right. Until you figure it out, that's just painful. So that's building 27's that. So then I just put those in and hard-coded them. And when I click on my event, I'm getting a different type of event. So that means that they clicked on my marker. So if they click on my marker, I want to now load in a whole new map, right? Any questions on what we've done so far? No?
Turn on your show tabs.
What do you mean?
Go to the agenda.
Oh, to show where the tap is?
Yeah. It's gonna be,
I have to find it. It's in the settings or something.
Yeah, go to the setting. Yeah.
They change it all the time.
Settings, top right.
So you own one of these,
Scroll
so
way down the bottom.
it's developer or something, right?
Scroll way down the bottom.
I thought it was.
See about phone. Scroll way down the bottom. Test build number about 7 times.
That's funny.
Now go to develop options.
Yeah, I've done this once.
Let's scroll down. Not that far. Go up a little more. Let's say show tabs. Show touches.
Show touches.
There it is. Yep. Now you can see. So I don't think it touches right where the mouse points. I think it's the whole mouse.
Yeah, it's a big dot, isn't it? So,
You'll see it when you touch on the screen now.
yeah. Yep. And then if you hold the control key down, you get the two fingers, the two touchers. All right, isn't that beautiful? Thank you. I have that one on my home one. I just didn't even think about it. All right, so we now need to do a lot more work to get this to add a whole nother tile view. So when they click on this, I need to switch out, I need to remove the old view, the old tile view, and add in a new tile view. All right, so what I did, the way I did that was I created my two different tile views up here in my onCreate. So I have a tile view, and then I have a tile view that is for building one. All right, so that's my tile view building one. And I have to create all of this new stuff. And I'm going to create that all underneath here. So I'm going to create a whole new tile view. Whole new tile view, and we're going to set some parameters on it, and we're going to add that only at the time they click on the button. So we're going to do a remove of the old one and add the new one only at that point in time. So we first need to have all of the assets split up. So I need a whole new set of folders in here which deal with the tiles for building one instead of the entire map. So I need to create these again. And so I did that already. I don't want to go through that. I took the map and I divided it up using that batch file that I wrote for you guys. I just modified it slightly and reran it, and it created a whole new bunch of files. You remember the batch file? I think I'm still not there yet, if I can get there. I can't get in there. Yeah, it probably is here somewhere.
It's a new one from the.
You put it in a folder in the desktop.
Here it is. So this is the slice.bat here. And so I just changed the name of the file and some other things and reran this, and it generated a whole new set of files for me. So I've got those.
H drive images, slice.
Yep. I have to get them into my project, so I'm not going to run that again. I need to get those files here. So let me do that. What's the easiest one? All right, so I already had these. I split these out, so I called these all downsamples 0001, tiles 0001, and these are the images that it created. So if you look at these, this is a level, the 500 level and the 250 level. And then inside of all of these, I've got all of these tiles. So that's one tile of the internals of building one. So I need to put these all into my same assets folder. So I'm going to copy these all in here. No, I don't want to move them.
This makes like the if ping on each one is that.
Oh, because I was playing around with the the quality of it. I think that GIFs for this type of an image, since it's basically one or two colors, a GIF image is smaller. So it's and it's a better quality than the JPEG or the PNG. So I should throw them away. Yeah, definitely. I was playing around with back and forth stuff. So, all right. So it should copy all those in. I've got all my tiles now. Now all I need to do is do the same thing that I did up here. I'm going to set these parameters and the detail levels. I'm going to just copy that and paste that, and we'll change some stuff. So the size of this new file was what I got from Photoshop. It's 3236 by 2461. And instead of tiles, I'm going to get these all from Tiles 001 folder. And the same style, except these are all GIFs. All right, and I added the same event listener. So there's probably a better way to do this. I could create the function, but that's not very dry here. I'm going to add the same thing to my tile view 001 instead, so that I could then figure out where the rooms are. All right? So that should load in all the files. And then I need to, that just creates it and sets it aside. It's not doing anything with this yet. So when they click on it, down here, when they actually click on my marker, I need to do something with that. So I want to switch out the tile view. All right, so to do that, we have to call our linear. Remember, we did this all programmatically. We need to remove the view that was currently there, which is just the original tile view. Then we need to create the same linear layout params object. That we did for the other one. And I'm sure I could reuse that one, but let's just do this because this actually works. So we have to create a new linear layout params with some properties of linear layout dot layout params dot match parent, kind of what we did before, and a 0 and a 1, which we did before. All right, so that is creating this tile view layout. Then I can use that to add to the view. I can say linear layout dot add view, and I'm going to add my tile view 001 with the new tile view layout that I just created. And then I'm going to set the scale just to play around with it. Tile view 001, set scale to be 0.50. So that will choose the half zoomed in view. All right, so that should be it. That just basically removes the old view, adds the new view. So let's see if it works. All right, so here's our new map. Um, interesting. Now it doesn't scroll. That's just wonderful. Why doesn't it scroll? There it goes. All right, it was probably loading stuff. All right, so here I click on my marker. Dink! It loads up my building 1. Beautiful. Look at that. It didn't load everything.
Still thinking.
Huh. It's still thinking or something. Yeah. Huh. So I have something wrong with my adapter here. I haven't been assimilated yet. Let's see. Hmm. I don't know why. Oh, that's probably why. That's why. I have these all as GIFs, so these should be GIFs. That'll help. I think that'll help a lot. Yes, that'll help a lot. Okay, go back. There we go. Yeah, it's probably loading still, which is why it doesn't loading those other tiles. So let's go to building 1. Remember, I can't get to building 1 unless I go somewhere else. So that's an interesting problem. That's a feature. So now I can click on building 1, and it loads them all beautifully. Look at that. What the heck? They are all still there.
Oh, you're in down samples.
Now I've got both of them in there, so it should be fine. They're all GIFs.
But you got the 001 one you have. That's not.
Oh, here we go. So, let's see, maybe that's not it. 125. No, that's all right. Down samples 001. Yeah, so these have to be 001 as well. That's what you get for copying and pasting stuff. Gotta work now. Guaranteed. Come on.
Those images, instead of a graph, they look like stock market.
Yeah. Going down, yes, bad. All right, there we go. So I can go to my buildings. There's building 1. Click on my building 1. There we go. Look at that. Do it again, do it again. So now I can zoom in and see my stuff. Isn't that great?
You are here.
I am here, 1116. So that's how I can load in a whole new view. It's taking a while so my scrolling isn't working very good. There we go. That's how we can load in a whole new view on that event. I don't have any way to get back. So in addition to doing that, I might change this to have a whole new spinner that had rooms in it. Every room, right? And I could click on the room and it would zoom into that room and show me where the room is. And then maybe the top one is campus map. And when they click on campus map, it's going to do this switching of the views again and go back to showing you the campus map.
What about
The path, we're not doing any path. No path. You can, though. The tile view has ways of drawing the path. You can draw a path from here to here and all that kind of stuff. You could hook in GPS, a lot of work. So we're not going to do that. But I think that's pretty useful already. So you'd have to use this same concept that I have to figure out the the on tap event here. So I can click on 116 here, 1116, and that's where 1116 is. So I'd have to, that's a lot of data work that I'd have to deal with. But at least the structure is there. Any questions on the structure, how that works?
You just draw a straight line through all the rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, the path is, yeah, right. It's a little difficult. The path, you'd have to figure out a path for every building, for every room, I mean. Maybe, yeah. That's a lot of data. You'd probably put it in a database then. I would probably think that I would have a room database that would have a building record, has many rooms, that kind of stuff. I'd have a one-to-many relationship with that. So then you'd only be loading in one or two records, and that would give you information. But a room would have many paths, depending on where you started from. From here, you'd have to go down to 1116. If you were here, you just go straight up. There's no GPS way of figuring that out, because I don't know what a hallway is. Where can they walk? It would be a little bit like my maze program to find the shortest path. Theoretically, you could do that. Write my maze algorithm, and you go from here and make this all open path information, and all the others walls, and it could bounce around and figure out that this is the shortest path.
Guess
A lot of work, but
you'd have to you could do something where a button and then it's like, oh, click your origin point, click your destination point.
yeah, and then what? Draw a straight line? Like you said, how do you know that that's the shortest point? You'd have to know that information.
Assuming the origin point was like a hallway or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Little tough.
You take them to the hallway first. And
Yeah.
to the door.
It's difficult because you don't get signal inside the rooms. Yeah, I haven't done that, but theoretically I could at least show a pointer where they are. And I can change the coordinates of this so that it uses geometrical latitude, longitude coordinates and map the GPS right into a place here. I just have to figure out the corners of my map, what longitude, latitude this is and what this is. And then the rest, the tile view would calculate out for me automatically. That's just math. But all that would do is show you where you are and maybe put a big dot on where you need to go. You'd have to know how to read the map, though. Doing the routing is not an easy situation. Compass, yeah. Yeah, that's true. You could do that. Why don't I make you guys do that? Lots of stuff you could do. All right, any other questions on this? All right.